Just need a bit more comedy here. Oh! I didn't see there. Welcome to Rusted on the making of. No budget, no worries. That's fucking stupid.
Hey mate, how you going?
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So the main storyline of Sean is very much based on my life because, like the pilot says, like I had no qualifications, no real drive to do anything. Like I left high school and went, yeah, I'm just gonna be a fucking rock star and skateboard. The thing you need to do is be really good at skateboarding and really good at music, and I was neither of those two. So I was kind of fucked. I just worked in heaps of retail jobs, and look, they were actually pretty fun. Like I met a lot of really good people in retail, but the one thing I hated was just having to take shit from people. It was almost like your job description is just to let anyone come in and treat you like the biggest piece of shit, and it just killed me. And any sort of hierarchy, especially when head office come down and, you know, people are just trying to suck up to them. And yeah, I took all that and put it into a script.
Pretty soon, bro, you're gonna be reeking a pussy like me, mate. Isn't it?
It was pretty nerve-wracking actually, because it was the first narrative thing I'd sort of written, and I've always had this weird fear of, like, if I said to people I was writing something, they'd be like, what, you think you're a fucking poet or something? So I was actually even nervous to show anyone.
I knew that, you know, he's got a good idea. Customer service, everyone can relate to it. And I thought, okay, I'll give you a bit of my time and we'll shoot this little sort of teaser. You can do a couple of memes and we'll see the feedback.
I actually believed in it. I thought it was a good premise. I thought a lot of people could relate to it. I talked to my business partner and said, hey, I want to try and make a pilot. And as he says with any stupid idea, he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. It's going to be shit, but let's do it. Yeah, it was well in the series.
Quality writing.
The casting process was pretty fun because I got to see what was on paper starting to play out, and watching it back I was like, oh yeah, this actually is pretty funny. I put an ad on Star Now just to see if any actors would even be interested. I put up like a little synopsis, and to my surprise, like hundreds of people applied. Before we knew it, we sort of had lined up about 30 people to audition, and the first two were Liam and Ron, who play Brett and Winston. And in my ignorance, I thought this is going to be easy. Every actor comes in and just shreds it.
You know, they were casting multiple different characters and they're actually advertising for two. But I came in and auditioned for both, and the first one I did was Brett. That's probably the one that I wanted to do because it was the most fun and such a departure, obviously, from who I am. And then I did the other one and they're like, yeah, no, let's go with Brett. That's probably, I was highly caffeinated as well, so I was just like, fucking, you know.
Oh, that's great.
And that's how much we love each other.
I just started helping out with the auditions. We were auditioning heaps of people from Melbourne and all over the joint. You know, I was reading a few of the different scripts, loving it, getting into it. And one day, I was absolutely wrapped. Ryan came up to me and said, you know what, I'd like you to play Sean. And I was just, you know, I was over the moon.
I pretty much just set a date and said, right, cool, it's just got to be done. Let's just release it on the 4th of the 4th. And then, you know, it can sit there and be mocked and ridiculed, or, you know, people might like it, but at least it's done and we've made something and we've seen it through to the end. And I was so nervous, like it was like I couldn't even enjoy it. It had a lot of really good feedback, and the number I would have loved to have hit total views was 10,000, and we got that in the first night.
It just started going nuts. People were commenting, and it wasn't just people from Australia, it was people from all over the world. And I was just kind of like, oh shit, we got to do it now.
No one really goes out on a limb for you if you've got no experience and you're a first-time writer, director, producer, production company. Like, we were first time at everything, super green. So yeah, people didn't really, like they thought it was a good content, but they didn't really want to back it. The whole vibe was, well, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves. That's been the great thing about having it available online, is you've got a direct connection with the audience. So you've got the opportunity to test it out, and we had hundreds of thousands of people millions in some cases if you take in the little videos saying, this is great, I'd watch this, I want more. So that was enough for me to go, well, I'll start looking into doing a season 1. First of all, I contacted all the actors. Everyone was really excited to do it again. We had to cast again. We had some really good pickups. Obviously Luke Celebra's Chris Woods is hilarious. Sreed, our security guard, was an awesome addition. And then all the actors that play the customers, there was a definite shift in the quality of actors we were getting through. Not to say the ones for the pilot were bad, but we did about 60 to 80 auditions for season 1, everywhere from regular parts to customers, and every single actor that came through was just awesome.
Oh no!
When Ryan called me up before I even auditioned and said 170,000 people had already watched the pilot episode, you know, I couldn't believe it, and it also made it fun. Like, you know, you knew it was going to come out, and you knew it already had a following, and I got to be part of it, so I enjoyed that.
Different to any other project because people saw it.
Yeah.
The location was pretty hard, and it was almost a deal breaker because the location we used for the pilot was an actual store. So their head office saw the pilot and they were like, fuck no, you're not shooting more here. Even though like the store manager was cool to do it. So that kind of left us in a position where we had no location. Warren Ponds Shopping Centre kind of came to our rescue there, and it definitely wouldn't have happened without them, and in particular Danny Unsworth. She ran it through the owners and stuff like that, and they actually got really excited about facilitating it.
How is this room gonna look when we're finished with it?
Warren Ponds Shopping Centre, next level. You know, we're doing a show where we're actually taking the piss out of customer service, and Warren Ponds are like, yeah, great idea. We'll give you a shop, set it up, you rig it up, bang. Who does that?
So we had a store, but we had no stock, we had no shelves, anything like that. And this project is all about people hooking us up and people just being awesome. I met a guy named Daryl from OMA Shop Fittings. I said, oh, I need some stuff for a show I'm making. Okay, cool. What do you need? You can have it. And it was just like that. We had shelving for the store, free of charge. They hooked us up heaps. Like they lent us the van to physically take it there, like their delivery van. They were awesome. Jamie was physically loading the stuff into the back of the van for us. We drove it to Warren Ponds and we started setting up this shop space.
It was epic because, you know, we'd put on all this time and manpower into getting it made, and then actually filming in the store, we're just like, oh, holy shit, this actually came across really well.
It was just fun. It's like, let's do something that's fun. Let's not worry about if it works or not. Let's just throw everything in, make it honest, make it truthful, and see how we go. And it was completely different than anything I've ever worked on.
Things like signage done for the store, putting on Facebook, anyone that has a broken TV, can we have it? So we were just packing, you know, 7 or 8 busted TVs full of cobwebs into the back of my little car. There was a computer repair shop called ITZ, and the owner, Michael, gave us a whole bunch of phone and tablet displays. So we ended up with a pretty decent looking store, I think.
He's my main man. He's just a damn can. He's just a one-off star, just a man I love. Yeah, boom, cha, Gary.
It was a pretty special process, I guess, especially because I got to do it with one of my best friends, Dan Boyles, who I'd known for 20 years, and we sort of put heaps of effort into that store, you know, every day. There was just a real kind of energetic vibe of, you know, we're really making something here. Like there was just a really cool buzz about it. So it'd generally be, you know, him, Paul, and myself. But, you know, tragically he passed away just before we'd finished shooting. It makes Rusted On a hell of a lot more special to me to know that we both worked on it from, you know, the ground up. I just feel really privileged to be able to say that my last days with a best mate were doing something so fun and something so exciting. And I think it's a pretty special feeling, I think, when you build something with someone, like when you get a chance to dream with someone, or you know, the conversations like, oh, imagine if this happened, you know, what will people think? I think it's something that just gives you a special bond.
You know, I'd met Dan a few times before we'd been filming. He was there for auditions, and you know, he would always he would always have an opinion. He'd always be throwing things out. And being on the set of Rostered On, he was in his absolute element. When we were setting up the shot of Rostered On, he was great at putting things together, and just to see him wanting to do something that he loved, which was making films with Ryan, was awesome. He would tell me, I can go out and work and do all this and earn a lot of money doing this and that, but he's like, nah. You know, it really shows the type of person that he was.
Being on set with everybody, we were so close-knit. And I got to know Dan really, really well over a short amount of time. And especially when he would work with Ryan and Stu and Bass and everybody, you know, you could see the friendships. You could see that obviously these are guys that have been together for a long time and, you know, very, very matey. And yeah, he's a really great loss to everyone. He was a really amazing guy.
I guess having Rostered On as something that we worked on together, it makes it, nothing can make it better, but at least it's one positive thing that we can all take away from and go, yeah, we shared this with Dan.
He's still filming. He's still filming.
All right, one sec.
So when it finally got time to shoot the season, even though we had everything we needed, the time factor was still massive. All the shots in the store were done in 6 days, and they were pretty hardcore days. So a typical day would be everybody, apart from Paul, because that motherfucker is so late all the time. All crew would be there at 6 AM in the morning, so we'd have to call up, get the key to the shopping centre of the security guard. We'd get in, the guys in the first scene would get into makeup, and we'd start sort of plotting out the scene.
Driving up to Geelong, staying overnight.
That was the best part, was driving up to Geelong.
No, but like rocking up on set, and you got this full, like, you know, fitted out store. It just like, you know, that's what it's kind of all about. You don't have to work hospitality for those 3 days.
Yeah,
like,
taking time off from our real jobs.
Yeah,
to
to
shoot
be an
Rostered
actor.
On. Yeah, that was the best part, to
yeah.
actually act.
So, you know, when you view the show, just remember that
We really want to be there.
Yeah, we don't want to have to work hospitality for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The thing with the store is though that it was really small. The whole store was less than 100 square meters, so like we would be moving stuff around. The store is like the Simpsons house. We shot it in a way where we made it look bigger, and that was probably the #1 concern of most of us, is like the store's gonna look really small, but I think we got away with it. We'd start setting up, and then it was just literally just scene after scene after scene after scene, back to back. Yeah, I mean, it was usually like 6 in the morning till maybe 7 or 8. No one ever complained about anything. We had a job to do, we were gonna get it done, but it was really fun. So it was like a whirlwind of 6 days, just in, out, chunks of dialogue. The actors did so well. And it's quite rare on a set to have all the actors that aren't even in the scene sort of watching, they're supporting the other actors, but quite a lot of the time we would have actors watching the scene. So the guys in the scene would see them, and knowing they've got a scene coming up, like everyone would try and bring their best because they didn't want to be the one that let it down. So it was cool. Like the actors, I can't speak highly enough. Like they killed it. They smashed it.
Everyone's awesome off screen. So everyone's just legit, nice, friendly. There's no bitching. There's no moaning. There's none of that. Everyone has done their time acting, and they can see that Rostered On is so much fun to work on.
It's one of the most amazing cast and crew I've worked with. I think everyone just bonds so well. And it's just such an incredible script and awesome characters, so it's just so much fun.
My favourite thing about working on Rostered On has been just the squad, just the crew. It's been so amazing.
Yeah, Ryan really, he's really open in his directing, so he really just, encourages us to take risks and
play.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have made this if people didn't relate. And we've had so many passionate people from all over the world saying, thank you so much for making this, please make more. And that's really been the driving force behind it, is that we just love telling these stories. And hopefully, you know, we're people that are in the same situations, like working a job they hate or getting shit from a customer, hopefully they can come home and just know that people all over the world are going through it too, and they can have a bit of a laugh about it. and if it helps them face the next day at work, then that's rad. To anyone out there that has commented, liked, shared, told a friend, torrented the thing, like I don't care, like I'm just so stoked it's gotten out there. So thank you from all of us, from the bottom of our hearts.